Elon Musk created SpaceX, also known as Space Exploration Technologies Corp., as an American aerospace manufacturing and space transportation business in 2002. With its main office in Hawthorne, California, SpaceX has quickly emerged as one of the most well-known and cutting-edge businesses in the aerospace sector. With a focus on Mars, SpaceX's main objective is to lower the cost of space travel and eventually make it viable for humanity to live on other planets. Among SpaceX's significant accomplishments and projects are 1. Falcon. American aerospace manufacturer SpaceX used the Falcon 1 as a small lift launch vehicle from 2006 to 2009. Falcon 1 was the first entirely liquid-fueled launch vehicle that was created privately to orbit the Earth on September 28, 2008. The two-stage rocket to orbit used LOX-RP-1 for both stages, with a single Merlin engine powering the first stage and a single Kestrel engine powering the second. SpaceX created it from the ground up. A total of 5 launches of the vehicle were made. After 3 unsuccessful launch attempts, Falcon 1 finally succeeded in placing a mass simulator into orbit in September 2008. On July 14, 2009, SpaceX launched their first commercial satellite using a Falcon 1 rocket. This was Falcon 1's second successful flight. The Falcon 1 was discontinued after this flight and replaced by the Falcon 9 instead. Falcon 9 in June 2010. The first Falcon 9 launch took place. On October 8, 2012, the first Falcon 9 ISS commercial resupply mission lifted off. It was the first commercial rocket to ever put people in space, and it remains the only one today that can do so. It is the only American rocket that is currently authorized to deliver people to the International Space Station. It had just 1 flight failure, making it the American rocket with the finest safety record and the most launches in history as of 2022. 2 stages make up the rocket. The second stage then lifts the cargo to its final location after the first stage has carried the payload and second stage to a predetermined altitude. The booster can land vertically to make reuse easier. On Flight 20 in December 2015, this accomplishment was first accomplished. SpaceX has 234 times successfully landed rockets as of October 9, 2023. As many as 17 flights have been completed by a single booster. Using cryogenic liquid oxygen and rocket-grade kerosene, SpaceX Merlin engines power both stages. The biggest payloads launched into geostationary transfer orbit were carried by Telstar 19V and Intelsat 35E, each weighing 761 kilograms, while the latter entered a lower energy GTO with an apogee considerably below the geostationary height. The former was launched into an advantageous supersynchronous transfer orbit. On January 24, 2021, Falcon 9 sent 143 satellites into orbit, breaking the previous record of a single rocket. NASA humans can be transported to the ISS using the human-rated Falcon 9. As Category 3 qualified for the NASA Launch Services Program and the National Security Space Launch Program, the Falcon 9 is capable of launching the most costly, significant, and complicated NASA missions. The rocket underwent multiple iterations of evolution. V10 flew between 2010 and 2013, V11 between 2013 and 2016, and V12 full thrust, which debuted in 2015 and includes the Block 5 variation, has been in use since May 2018. Dragon spacecraft. SpaceX, an American private space transportation business, has created and launched a number of Dragon-branded spacecraft. Before retiring in 2020, the original member of the family, now known as Dragon 1, completed 23 freight flights to the International Space Station. This initial version, which was not intended to transport astronauts, was sponsored by NASA with $396 million allocated through the Commercial Orbital Transportation Services Program. On August 18, 2006, SpaceX was named the recipient of the first round of financing. A crewed and cargo variant of the Dragon 2 spacecraft were developed by SpaceX beginning in 2014. On May 30, 2020, during the Crew Dragon Demo 2 flight, it made its first flight with astronauts. It originally entered service in 2019 with the Demo 1 flight. Red Dragon was another variant that SpaceX looked into for Mars exploration. However, the project was abandoned. The Lunar Gateway is to receive gateway logistics services from a version called Dragon XL. A hypothetical starship created for interstellar TR is known as a starship, starcraft, or interstellar spacecraft. Science fiction is where the word is most frequently used. A starship is mentioned in OSP, a new Bible as early as 1882. Even though NASA's Voyager and Pioneer probes have entered nearby interstellar space, their mission was exclusively interplanetary, and it is not expected that they will travel beyond our solar system. The Voyager 1 probe and Gliese 445 will pass one another within 1.6 light-years in roughly 40,000 years. Through exploratory engineering, a number of preliminary designs for starships have been created using technology that is already available or is anticipated to become so in the not-too-distant future. In April 2016, researchers revealed Breakthrough Starship, a Breakthrough Initiatives program to build a proof-of-concept fleet of tiny light-sail spacecraft called Starship, capable of traveling to Alpha Centauri, the nearest star system, at speeds of 20% and 15% off the speed of light, taking 20 to 30 years to get there, respectively, and taking about 4 years to notify Earth of a successful arrival. Starlink. Over 60 nations are covered by the Starlink satellite internet network, which is run by the American aerospace company SpaceX. After 2023, it also wants to provide international mobile phone service. Starlink satellite launches by SpaceX began in 2019. It consists of more than 5,000 mass-produced tiny satellites in low Earth orbit as of August 2023 that connect with certain terrestrial transceivers. The deployment of almost 12,000 satellites is anticipated, with a potential later increase to 42,000. More than 1 million customers will be reached by SpaceX in December 2022, followed by 1.5 million subscribers in May 2023 and 2 million subscribers in September 2023. It played a significant part in the Russo-Ukrainian war. The Starlink research, development, production, and orbit control facilities are located at the SpaceX Satellite Development Center in Redmond, Washington. The cost of planning, constructing, and deploying the constellation was estimated by SpaceX to be at least $10 billion in May 2018. SpaceX predicted in January 2017 that its satellite network would generate more than $30 billion in income by 2025, while its launch business would generate $5 billion in revenue. Concerns have been expressed by astronomers regarding the constellation's potential impact on astronomy conducted from the ground, as well as how the satellites will add to an already crowded orbital environment. SpaceX has made an effort to allay worries about astronometric interference by taking steps to lessen the brightness of the satellites when they are in use. They have Hall effect thrusters that enable them to station keep, boost their orbit, and to orbit at the end of their useful lives. Based on uplink tracking information, they are also intended to prevent collisions automatically and smoothly. The idea of human migration to Mars and permanent human habitation there is known as colonization or settlement of Mars. Public space agencies and commercial enterprises are both interested in the idea, and science fiction literature, film, and art have all extensively explored it. The first stage in any colony project would be a human expedition to Mars, but no one has ever visited the planet, and there have been no resupply missions either. Landers and rovers, on the other hand, have successfully investigated the planet's surface and transmitted data on the local environment. The asteroid belt and the Earth's orbit are both near to Mars' orbit. Although Mars' day and general makeup resemble Earth's, the planet is inhospitable to life. Although Mars' average temperature varies between 94 and 32 degrees F, its unbreathable atmosphere is thick enough to produce planet-wide dust storms. Ionizing radiation is severe, and fine dust blankets the arid Martian surface. Colonists on Mars might utilize in situ resources such as subterranean water, Martian soil, and minerals. On Mars, there are few opportunities to produce electricity utilizing nuclear, solar, or wind energy. Curiosity, the potential for humans to conduct more in-depth observational research than unmanned rovers, a financial interest in its resources, and the possibility that human extinction may be lowered by colonizing other planets are just a few of the justifications and motivations for colonizing Mars. Risks and challenges include exposure to radiation while visiting Mars and while on its surface, toxic soil, low gravity, the isolation brought about by Mars' separation from Earth, a lack of water, and chilly temperatures. Public space agencies including NASA, ESA, Roscosmos, ISRO, and the CNSA, as well as private organizations like SpaceX, Lockheed Martin, and Boeing, have made commitments to studying permanent settlement. Outro. SpaceX has made significant strides in advancing space technology, reducing launch costs, and reimagining the possibilities for human space exploration. The company has achieved numerous milestones and continues to play a vital role in shaping the future of space travel. Thank you for watching Cosmic Era. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell so you never miss an update.